For our fourth tape, we want to combine the offensive and defensive techniques, the block and countering techniques, the takedowns and sweeping techniques into a real matching situation using Kumite. Thank you very much. Our fourth tape is going to concentrate on sparring for competition, Kumite. What we want to do is take each of the various criteria that you need to do first to establish a point for a Kumite, what techniques you can use for technique, and also the target areas for technique. So with the help of one of my students out here, I want to go through these various phases of competition. Eric, if you come out and help me out, please. I'm over here. First of all, in competition, there are certain areas that you can strike or kick and certain tools on your body that you can use. Obviously, because it is a sport, we want to make sure that we don't damage our opponents, yet we want to be able to use this from an extended part outside of a tournament into the street also. Essentially, your main striking is going to be done with your fist, a closed fist to a punch or a back fist. However, ridge hands and chopping techniques are also legal and appropriate to use in a competition. Your kicking techniques are going to use primarily your front kicks, your side kicks, round kicks, back kicks, and so on. The kick must be done with good form and very strong application, good feeling for the technique. I'll break down these a little bit more later on. But essentially, you want to make sure that we're using these proper tools or the referee will overlook your technique and say that's no good at all. Okay, let me have Eric, if you get into a right foot forward freestyle, but left foot forward, excuse me, freestyle position from here. Okay, so for example, we have the head is a legal area, okay, any part of the head. So if I step in and I did a ridge hand to the temple, okay, that is a striking area. Okay, or if I were to slide up and strike the face is a striking area. Okay, another area from here is the chest. Okay, I could step in and attack the chest area or drop down a little bit lower and attack the abdomen. Okay, so these are all striking areas right here. Okay, Eric, if you could switch your body around just for a second, please. Okay, the back side is also a striking area, and almost any part of the back except for the shoulder blades themselves. These two areas here are not counted as a striking area. But if we were fighting and I came around with a round kick and struck him here in the kidneys, that is a striking area. Okay, and lastly, striking areas can be the ankle for a sweeping technique or a takedown type of technique that is followed immediately by a scoring technique, which would be a punch or a kick of some type as you did that. Okay, let's stop for a second right there. Now, real quickly, let's look at the areas you can't strike. It's kind of common sense, but it's very important you understand this also. You cannot attack the joints. You cannot attack like the elbow joints or the knee joints. Obviously, if these were struck or kicked hard enough, you could break them. Okay, you cannot attack the groin area. Okay, you cannot attack the throat. And the areas that you can attack, the sweeping areas, the abdomen, the chest, the face, etc., you must do it with good control. Okay, so we're measuring that your movements are done full force. For example, if his body's here, I'm going to step in full force, yet I'm controlling the motion. I'm only touching the outside part of the body and not the inside of the body. That same force, however, if I hit him in the face, you could see a very devastating type of strike. So I must stop right in front of the face. Okay, I must stop before I hit. If I touch, okay, then that's a foul. And fouling, of course, could mean I could be eliminated from the competition altogether, or he could receive a point if the foul was a minor type of foul. Okay, let's go on to the next phase here. Eric, if you go ahead and get into left foot forward freestyle position. Right. Okay, these are the ways that you can score. There are essentially 5 different ways. Okay, the criteria for a full point, an ippon in a Japanese type or wuko type of competition, is a head kick. Okay, so let's say, for example, I do a roundhouse kick and he does not block it. It has to be on the target. Okay, so if I come around here with a roundhouse kick to his head, okay, I can score a full point with that. Okay? If the kick goes in front of the face, in front of the target, it's not a point. It must be on the target itself. So it shows that I have good control of technique. At the same time, it is on the particular target. Okay, another way of being able to score is if my opponent's moving towards me and I attack him, or actually I counterattack him, at the precise movement he's moving towards me. If he starts moving towards me, I counterattack him before his body gets set or before he can unleash an attack. Okay, let's do that again. So as his body moves towards me, I get him. At the precise movement his body's moving, that's criteria for an e-point or a full point. Okay, a third movement is being able to block and counter a technique. So for example, let's say this time he attacks, Jodan. I block the technique, and then I counterattack. Okay, so let's do it a little quicker this time. Hey, Jodan. Okay, block, and I counter. Okay, one more time. I'm blocking, deflecting his fist away from me, and I counter the technique. And then again, that's a third method for a criteria for a point. A fourth criteria would be either a throwing technique or a sweeping technique. So this next technique is a sweeping technique. So he's stepping in, and as he steps in, I sweep his foot simultaneously and finish him off with a scoring technique. Okay, that's the fourth method of being able to score. And the last one is actually being able to score myself offensively on separate techniques, 2 separate techniques scoring in succession. For example, I step in and attack his face, and he doesn't block. Okay, from here, I score to his face, and then immediately I drop down below and score again to his stomach. I've scored in 2 successive techniques. Okay, so again, these are the 5 ways that you can score. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now, the last thing I want to point out to you is the criteria that's necessary for an e-point. You know, obviously, if you go into a tournament, and if you just come up and you just take a wild swing at somebody, or you do a scooping kick or something, and even though you may make contact on their body or their uniform or their face, it's not a point. It must have good form. Okay, we in karate learn proper stances, proper punching, proper kicking technique. This all enhances good form. You must have a correct attitude when you deliver it. And this correct attitude goes along with vigorous application. So your attitude is very important. For example, if I'm fighting here and I'm going, my attitude is that I could care less. No. It must be taken to a point where I can extend the techniques to a real fighting situation. So my attitude must be strong. Okay, Eric, if you get into a left foot forward freestyle position with me. Okay, okay, so from here I'm strong. I'm ready to fight from this position. Okay, and then when I score the point, okay, if I step in and score from him, on him, this position, I want to make sure after I score, I still have the feeling that I'm still fighting. Okay, from this position. This is poor attitude, the next one. And just kind of look down. Okay, that's no good. I want to continue the feeling that I'm fighting this person from here and back. Okay? Okay, extended from the vigorous application, we also want to have proper timing and distance. So if he's from this position here, if you go left foot forward, please. Okay, and if he steps in and he does Jodan Zuki, I want to have proper timing of the block counter punch. Okay, if I have, I'm going to slow this down a little bit. If we have all these ingredients, this is incorrect. Okay, for example, he goes and attacks. Okay, I'm too far away. I have bad form and bad timing. No point. Even though I may have attacked his body on the counter punch, it's not going to be awarded. So it must be done. Okay, this time go straight on. Go. Hey. Right. Block and counter with good timing and distance. And back up. Good. Okay, my goal for you is a couple of things. I want you to be able to participate in the Kumite match, understand the rules, understand the criteria for scoring, understand the striking areas. You have to be able to practice those combinations that we talked about in the earlier tapes over and over and over again so they become second nature to you. But let's assume all those things have happened. Okay, now you're well ready to start into a competition situation. So I'm going to have the competitors come on in. Okay, let's have the competitors come into the ring. Right?
Well, you got your marks.
Okay. We're going to start off, first of all, I'm going to have them get into a freestyle sparring stance position. Okay, shobu, swing! Okay, now you'll notice the distance between their feet is approximately 3 to 4 feet. Okay, we don't want them so close that they become boxers, yet they want to be able to use their techniques. For example, Eric should be able to kick Bob in the stomach with a front kick. Okay, Eric, go ahead and do that. Okay, so he can do that simply by his distance right there. Although the average person feels like, hey, this guy's too far away, you can see how easy it was for her to kick him. Same time, Bob could feel like I want to be able to punch him anytime I want by stepping in one stride. So Bob, you step in and see if you can punch him. Good. And back. So their distance is pretty much the same because their height is very similar to each other. If one is taller, he might want a little bit more distance. If one's smaller, he might want a little less distance. Movement is very important. Okay? So let's have you guys go on back. Now the next set we're going to do is I'm going to have them step in into a freestyle movement, and they're going to move around like they're fighting each other. Okay? And I'm going to stop them every once in a while, and if I see a point, I'm going to call the point, and I'll explain to you exactly why the point was there. Okay, be together, right? Right. Okay, shobu, swing! Yamei, back! Okay, now two things I want you to observe. Okay, number one, you notice they were light on their feet and there was constant movement. They weren't set in one spot. Okay, Bob attacked, Eric blocked and counterattacked. One of the criteria for scoring the point was block and countering. Now, assuming all those other things we talked about, good form, correct attitude, vigorous application, zanshin, proper timing and distance is there, he could have received an ippon. Okay, I don't think all those ingredients are there, but it's almost there, so I'm going to give him a half point. Aka, wazari, half point. Okay, now we're going to continue the match. Swing! Yamei, back! Okay, and back on your starting lines. Okay, this time, Bob being the defender, blocked and ridged hand Eric's head. It was good distance timing, power, and feeling, so he is awarded ippon. Okay, now we continue the match. Swing! Yamei, back. Blocking and countering, deflecting their opponent's distance, but Eric's distance was a little bit off. Okay, so no point is awarded. Right, straight. Yamei, back. Hey, and stop. Okay, Bob did one of those combinations we talked about yesterday in the other tapes. Okay, stepping in, face punch, stomach punch. But they were blocked by Eric. Eric blocked and deflected his attack. But if you'll notice in the video, his body was not in the correct position on his counterattack. He was punching across his body, so he lost his good form. So no point is awarded. Right? Spade!
So. So. Right? Right? So.
And back. Right? And Bob tried a spinning back kick. Eric evaded the kick. However, the punch was slightly off target, so no point is awarded. Most tournament situations are divided into two types of tournaments. An Ippon tournament, which is a full point tournament, only takes 1 point to score, or a Sanban tournament where it takes 3 points to score. Okay? The criteria for scoring the points is exactly the same. Okay? We don't change that criteria. However, the strategy in the tournament can change tremendously. If you're fighting in an Ippon tournament, you know if you make one mistake, you can lose. I relate an Ippon tournament like a real fight. Okay, so for example, let me have Eric come out here just with me for a second here. And we're fighting, let's go left foot forward freestyle position. Okay, if, for example, I make a movement and he blocks and counters it right from here, I'm just going to go ahead, Jodan, jab, you block and counter. Okay, as I jab here, he blocks and counters. He received a pretty easy half point right there. One more half point and I'm finished. Okay, the match is over with. But if it's a Sanban tournament, I can afford to take some risk. Okay, my strategy can be different because I know I can give up some points and still prevail at the end of a 2-minute match. Okay, so strategy is very important in trying to decide what am I going to do. You'll notice at an Ippon tournament that there's going to be a lot more movement and maybe a lot less attacking, so it's more of a psychological edge. Okay, so what I want to take into right now into consideration is the 3 ways in which one can either psychologically or physically attack an opponent. Okay, so you can get a little advantage over your opponent. Okay, so let me show you what happens here. Okay, Eric, if you come out here. Okay, assuming that he and I are equal caliber fighters, there's some way that I have to be able to create an edge on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create an opening to be able to score against him. Okay, let's get in left foot forward freestyle position. Right. Okay, one way to create a score is to make an opening on his body. Eric has a pretty good defense. You notice his hand is guarding his abdomen. His hand is in a position where he only has to move a few inches up or down to defend himself. His stance is very strong. So I'm not going to have too many target areas. Okay, he gives me a little bit of face, but very easily he can block it. Okay, or if I try to drop into his stomach, he can block that. Okay, so it's very easy for him to defend. So I'm going to create an opening by doing this. I'm going to slide my front foot in and move his hand out of the way. and at the same time as I move his hand, I punch his body. Okay, so he has the feeling he's safe because I'm back here, but I move forward, moving his hand, and punch his body. Okay, Eric, you go ahead and do that to me. Push my hand out of the way and counter punch. Good. Okay, and I'll do the same thing to him. Push, counter punch. Good to me. Good. And I do to him. And to me. Good. So this drill should be practiced over and over again. Okay, so let me have you come back up. Okay, and let me have Rob come in here. Okay. Okay, and what I'd like to have you guys do is do this little drill back and forth. We'll do it 5 sets from left foot forward and 5 from right so our viewers can get a little practice on this, okay? Okay, get left foot forward position. Jermaine. Okay, and Eric, go ahead. You start. Push the hand away and counter punch. Go ahead. Good. This drill teaches you quick hands, but also you're creating that opening. You know, as soon as he slaps the hand out of the way, he punches. In and out. Good. Let's do a few from the other side. And yeah, my back. Good. Right, and bow. And back. Okay, why don't you guys take a breather? Let me have Bob come up here and help me out for a minute. Bob, why don't you come up here? Okay, come over here on this side right here. Okay, a second method of creating an opening is by taking the hand again and moving in a different direction. Okay? Now, one of the things you're allowed to do is grab, but if I grab it, it cannot be needless grabbing. In other words, I can't just grab him and start pulling him all over the place. But if I grab his hand with the intention of scoring, then it's okay. So what I'm going to do on this one here is I'm going to push his hand across his body, try to punch from there. Okay, it's pretty hard. Okay, its distance is too far off. Okay, so what I'm going to do from this position here is I'm going to grab his hand and pull it across his body and tack his face. Okay, or if he was a taller person, I could tack his body. The footwork on this is more of a lunging motion. Okay, remember our footwork we worked on in the other tapes? This motion here. Okay, so my distance is a little far away. I lunge forward, push his hand down. Okay, and punch the face. Okay, from here, and punch. And punch. And even if you miss it, okay, even if you don't get a grip on it, it's okay. Just slap it out of the way. Just get it out of the way so that you can step in and get a good punch on the face. Okay? Okay, let me have you come up, stay up here, and let's have Rob come up with him. Okay, bow each other. Okay, and left foot forward, freestyle position. Okay, and Bob, I'm going to have you start. Okay, okay, Rob, start. We have the same names here. Rob, start. Go ahead. You push down and punch with your right hand. Go ahead. Good. Okay, Bob. Good. Now, while they're practicing, I want you all to be concentrating on that good form aspect and good control. Okay, one more. Good. Okay, switch feet. Let's work the other side. Okay, notice our hands are always in a defensive posture. Good. Okay, one more, Bob. Good. All right. Are you bow? And Bob. Bob, I'm going to have you stay right there. Rob, you can take a step back. And the third way of creating an opening is that we're going to control the front hand by moving to the outside of the body. And this motion, remember from our footwork drills, okay, that I showed you earlier, is this motion right here. Okay, moving to the side, using your front foot kind of like a pivot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move towards him. But as I move towards this direction, it's very hard for him to punch because it's across his body. Okay? And as I do, I'm grabbing his hand, very similar to what we did in the last one, but I end up over here. Okay? Watch my footwork again. I move in and to the side. Okay? From here, it's easy for me to counter punch the body. But let me have you step in that corner right there towards me. Okay? Right! 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 back up. Okay? Now, again, I'd like you to practice this at home, so let's have Eric and Bob come up and do this. Okay? And what you do is, let's go from an angle. I think they can see better this way. You guys do left foot forward position. And just alternate back and forth. Eric, you go ahead and start it off. Go ahead. Good. Now Bob's turn. Good. Good. You notice they're touching the uniform. You show their distance. Good. Let's switch feet and do a few from the opposite side. Okay, and Eric, you, everybody move a little bit back, a little bit towards the blue wall there. Good. Good. And again, I want the viewers watch their body position. Notice their hips rotate forward so they have good form. Their power is moving forward, not away. Okay, one more. Good. AMA, back up. Good job. And Bob back. Okay. And Bob, if you just stay there for a second, thank you, Eric, and step back. One thing I want to point out to you, as you're practicing this particular technique, a problem that some people have is their body shifts incorrectly. I'm going to do this slowly so you can see. So from here, I'll tell you what, Bob, let's switch around so they can see here. When they shift to the side, okay, some people go like this, fall away, and then back in again. Number one, that's going to take too much time. Okay, so what you want to be able to do is keep your body rotated almost into a forward stance as you move. This way. You might even practice this way from here. See, my body is rotating right into a position, so all I have to do is just counter punch as soon as I get there. Okay, so real important is watch yourself, and again, if you don't have a partner, look at yourself in the mirror so that you can see that your body is shifting into a forward position, not back and forward. You're going to lose time, and your technique's not going to work effectively for you. Good. Okay. Now, after we've taken into consideration ways that we can break a person's defense by creating an opening by grabbing the front hand, let's have two of our fighters come back up again. So let's have Eric and Bob come up here again. Okay, now this time, since both of them, generally speaking, have very strong defenses, maybe in the course of our next match, we might see one of them attempt to do one of these three things. Okay? Okay, it's both of you get in freestyle position, and we'll do the same thing we did a few minutes ago with the free movement. Okay, ready? Speed! Gimme! Okay, so there's one of those techniques right there. Okay, Eric grabbed his hand, controlled his body, got his good body position. He had the criteria for a point. Hey, Eric gets an ippon. Okay, let's continue. Speed! Gimme back! Okay? Eric, same way. He created an opening. He grabbed his hand, pulled across his body, attacked the face. Okay? Eric, ippon. Swing. And Bob's a little far away on that one, so nothing's happening. Yamei back. And Bob got a stomach punch in, right? Aka chudanzuki wazari. Swing. Distance is off. Yamei back. Okay, now generally speaking, the reason I'm stopping here is he grabbed his wrist and he was not successful in his first technique. He was not successful in the second technique, so I stopped the match because now the grabbing is ineffective grabbing. He has to be able to score in that first or second one. If not, then he's going to try to get an advantage over his opponent. It's not fair. So no point, and we start over again. Hey, swing! A little bit more. Yamei back. And Eric blocked and a counterattack, the unguarded back. Eric gets a half point because he waited a little bit too long on the counter punch. During the course of a Kumite match, it is one's goal to always try to strive for the highest level technique. For ippons, if you're in an ippon match, can give you the entire match with one technique. Or if you're in a sanban match, it makes you reach your goal that much faster. Probably more of the exciting types of things to see in a competition, of course, is a takedown or a sweeping technique. So with the assistance of Eric and Rob, I'm going to have them come up now, and we're going to take a look at some possible types of techniques that could happen during the course of a match that we consider a higher level ippon takedown technique. Okay, could I have Eric and Rob up here, please? Right? Okay, what I'm going to have them do is they're going to do the techniques one time slowly so you can see the technique evolve, and then they'll do it at full speed so you can see how it actually works in a competition level. Okay, if you gentlemen will get in freestyle position. Okay, Jimmy. Okay, Eric will be doing the first technique. It's a scissors. Okay, go ahead, Eric. Stepping up, behind, dropping his opponent, and finish him off with a heel kick to the abdomen. Now again, this is a legal technique, but if a person doesn't know how to fall, you can see it could be a very rough technique on a gym floor. Okay, now let's see the same technique done at full speed. Good. Okay, next technique is Rob's technique. He's going to be doing a block and countering technique. Go ahead. Stepping behind, taking his leg out, and counter punching. Okay, now at full speed. and back up. You notice after every takedown, they must use a scoring technique. Okay, now Eric's third technique. Grabbing a leg, taking down, finish him off with a counter technique. Again, this is one of the techniques we worked out in one of our earlier tapes. Okay, back up, good. And Rob, the last possible type of takedown technique in a competition situation. Catching, sweeping, finish him off with a counter. Okay, now we're ready for a Kumite match. Okay, competitors, feet together. Hey! Hey, on your lines. Okay, 2-minute match. We're going to do a 3-point match. Sanban Shobu. Swing! Hey, back. Hey, back. Okay. Punch was off target. Torimasen, no point. Okay, continue the match. Three. Back. Okay, kick was too short. Torimasen. Three. Back. Shiro, stomach punch, Chudanzuki. Osari. Okay, continue the match. Three. Back. Okay, body was out of position, no point. Thirty seconds remaining in the match. Three. Back. Time is back. Okay? Shiro had a half point. No kachi, winner. About and back. Okay, and you guys go back, all the way back. Okay, good. Okay, now before we start the second match, a couple things to keep in mind. You notice within the 2-minute time span there was a lot of movement, there were a lot of attacks, a lot of block and counter attacks. But for me to score a point, they have to meet the criteria: good form, correct attitude, vigorous application, zanshin, proper distance and timing. It must be on one of those target areas we talked about: the head, the face, the neck, the chest, the abdomen, or the back area. And it must also fit one of the criterias: block and countering, jodan level kick, sweeping techniques, throwing techniques, delivering a combination, or meeting your opponent at the same time they attack. So these things you must keep in mind as you're practicing and you're training for your tournament competition. Okay, let's take a look at a second match now. Okay, let me have my next two competitors up again, please. If you guys will stand all the way to the outside. Okay, normally one of the competitors would be wearing a red sash and the other one a white sash. And just for your convenience sake, my right hand will always be right side. So when I refer to right, I'm going to be referring to aka, or red, on this side here. Okay, feet together, right? Okay, and if the contestants come up in their line. Okay? Again, we're doing a 3-point match. At Chobu, Chui! Distance is off. Keep going. Come here back. Second punch on Shiro's side. Second face punch. Shiro, Jodan. Wazari. Straight. Stop. Stop. The man back. Combination, face punch, stomach punch. A little weak on the first one, so we're only going to score the second stomach punch. Shiro, Wazari. Straight. Give me back. You made a little contact to the face, so no point is awarded. Hey, speed! Come here back! Good distance. Shiro, front kick to the abdomen. Ippon. Hey, speed. 30 seconds remaining in the match. Come here back. Okay, again we had the contact to the face. Okay, no point awarded. Speed! Come here, back!
Time.
Right, time. Second stomach punch. Shiro, wazari, and Shiro no kachi. Winner. Good. About. And go ahead back. Good. Now, as you were watching the training film and you observe the slow-mos, really be observing the combinations that are being delivered, their footwork, their hand positions. And one of the things that's kind of fun is for you to kind of say, if I was in the ring, what would I be doing? Are there any of those opportunities available for me to do a sweep, a takedown, scissors, grab the front hand to control them? Some of those techniques we worked on a little bit earlier in the video. See if those could happen during the course of the match as you're observing. Remember, these people out here, when they're sparring, they're reacting instinctively. So sometimes the things will occur, sometimes they will not occur. Now that you've had the opportunity to practice Kumite and expand your combinations in a practical sense, I want to wish you luck in your next tournament competition.